Kyle reviewed. Like and subscribe.
Hey guys, just finished watching Black Lightning, Season 3, Episode 10, The Book of Markovia, Chapter 1, Blessing and a Curse, Reborn. This one is quite interesting. It's the first episode back from Crisis. We start off with Black Lightning flying, which seemed like it was probably from Central City to Freeland, because we showed the recap and it ends with him, forming the Justice League of the Super Friends type thing at the end of Crisis. So that's quite interesting. So we pick up with him in mid-flight. So we don't see him take off. We don't know how long he's been flying for. We see that he's arriving in Freeland and he's pretty much there. So it would have been cool to get an idea as to how far it was, how far of a flight was that. He shows up there, does some stuff and interacts. So it seems like he wasn't flying. It's not like he spent, 3 hours flying out there or, 8 hours flying and stuff, and it didn't, use up his energy, So that would be something interesting to see. So it seems like he could fly over to Central City because it seems like it's really close, especially for him to just zip over there like that. So that is something interesting that I'd like to get an idea. Maybe they could put out on their social medias or maybe one of these shows, show us a map of all the different cities, and see as to how long would it take, how far would it be to get from Freeland to Central City to National City to Star City. We know Central City and Star City are pretty much close by, but because we've seen Team Arrow going over to Central City pretty often, and I think it might have been maybe a couple of hours in train type thing, but it was nothing for Barry to just run over there, right? So it'd be cool to get an idea as to that. And I'd love to see at some point maybe the show coming up and starting to film in Vancouver so that you could have more easy possibilities to having the supporting characters pop up. But with this show filming, I think it films in Atlanta, whereas all the other shows film up in Vancouver. So it would be nice, but we won't be able to get Lynn Pierce or Lynn Stewart is her original name, interacting with John Daigle Stewart. That would be something interesting because we know that his stepfather is named Stewart. So that could be something cool to play with that, get some sort of connection there, these two characters meeting and stuff. I think that would be quite fun. And also would be quite fun is if the show's moved up, and I think it'd have to write it into this season, I think, a little bit, just because it would change, obviously, the layout and the landscape of things. But it would be something quite interesting. And I guess they could have used this opportunity with this thing to make this city keep the same storyline, but all of a sudden the city just looks a little different. But it's also because they moved up to Vancouver. So I think they should have used this opportunity to do something like that. I don't know if that would have worked out, made it easier or something like that. But also sometimes some actors can get that right into the contract that they're only going to film in this location. They're not going to film, they're not going to move. They don't have to move with their production. I think it was Calista Flockhart for Supergirl had that in her contract. That's why she didn't come up with the rest of the show when, the Supergirl show moved up to Vancouver to start filming. So that is going to be interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that, and it would be cool to get some clearance there, some clarification as to how far all these cities are from each other. So we have this quite interesting storyline. I was excited to see as to how Crisis was going to affect this show, especially with there being basically no lead up to this to the Crisis. It was just all of a sudden there's an anti-wave. There you go. At the end of one episode. I mean, that last episode had a lot of Crisis, set up. It's just all of a sudden Crisis was affecting Jennifer and all that stuff. But other than that, there was no lead up like all the other shows had, starting into this season and stuff. So I think it was going to be interesting to see as to how it was kind of affecting. And they do play a little bit about some people not realizing anything ever happened. Only really Jefferson and Jennifer really know that the Crisis even happened, and even Jennifer had a different experience of Crisis than what Jefferson did interacting with everyone else in the crossover. So it is definitely going to be interesting to see as to where things kind of go, to see as to how things were changed and stuff, and I think definitely going to be quite fun to see. The storyline in this episode was okay, nothing super duper. We get a little bit more of TC, the techno, Barden, this guy who's able to kind of control technology and stuff. So that's going to be quite interesting to see as to how they use him. I don't know. We didn't get anything of Tobias Wales in this episode. I'm kind of glad. Nothing of Painkiller, but we'll just have to wait and see. So all in all, kind of interested in this episode. To see nothing too much happens. It is nice to finally see Black Lightning and Jefferson realizing that his wife Lynn is kind of addicted to green light and stuff. So that'll be cool to see as to where things go with that storyline. To see how things continue on there. And then we also have Jennifer opening up the box of she attacked, she attacked what's his face there, Odell, and then it turned out to be a hologram and stuff. Which I find out, how could she not tell that was a hologram? I mean, her powers are basically lightning. Couldn't she have kind of felt the difference between a hologram and an actual person? I mean, a human body, human brains, is not mistaken, isn't it? All made out of synapses and electricity and stuff. So couldn't she feel the difference between the static electricity coming off of a human body and then the difference between a projector, and when that gave a bit of a difference? Yeah, she's somewhat new to her powers in comparison to her father, who's had his powers for years and has mastered them. But she's been able to do a lot of stuff, and she has a lot of control over it. And they have mentioned a lot that she's more powerful than him. So I don't know, which would have been something cool to play with there. But it is interesting to see what what Odell's going to do with this now that she threatened him and all that stuff. So that'll be cool to see where things go there. And it was kind of cool seeing her and I can't think of the other guy's name, but Brandon, and them teaming up together and fighting, and seeing her, attacking and escaping from the ASA. It was kind of weird that the necklace, the power dampening necklace, and she was able to use her powers to go above it. I understand it's like she has electricity powers of how is an electronic device going to stop someone with electricity powers? I get that idea, but it just, I don't know, I would have liked to have seen her maybe, instead of just when she did that, maybe she could have blasted her powers to the point where she was doing that couple of episodes ago when she was up in the sky flying around. Maybe she could have exploded and kind of, blasted open the door of the truck at the same time, and that would have been like, oh, she kind of flared up, and that's how she broke that thing. And it, also damages the truck, not just her necklace. I think that could have been cool to show that level of power. It's like, oh, she just kind of pushed all of her powers out without controlling them, and it, it broke the necklace, but it also, broke the truck. That would have been something I would have done there. So all in all, we'll have to wait and see as to where things go. This episode was kind of okay. It was kind of fun, but nothing super duper memorable at all. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 3, episode 10. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Okay, Kyle has a YouTube channel called Kyle Reviewed. It's about Marvel and DC. I happen to know a little bit about DC since my initials are DC. All right, so if you like Kyle's interviews and videos and reviews and everything like that, then like and subscribe. If you don't like them, well, maybe you're just not a comic book fan.